A new centre-forward, central midfielder and new wide player have all been touted as priority positions ahead of 2024. Gabriel Jesus, Martin Ødegaard and Bukayo Saka have all had their injury threats this season, sparking concern over the level of depth at Arteta's disposal. Dusan Vlahovic continues to be mentioned amid uncertainty over his future at Juventus. The Serbian turned down a move to North London prior to his switch to Turin. Reports claim that Juventus are keen to tie him down on a new deal, however, clubs are keeping an eye on his situation. The reports do claim that Juventus have no intention to sell the striker. However, Arsenal may be able to convince them by offering one of their own players. Thomas Partey has been linked with a move to Italy for the last 6 months amid continued uncertainty over his future at the club. Juve were interested in the summer after Reiss's club record arrival, though no move came to fruition. Now, according to Santo Auna, the Serie A side want to bring the Ghana international to Italy on an initial loan deal. It's said that Giuntoli, Juventus sporting director, was recently in London to meet the player, who is currently out injured. Juventus' reluctance to sell Vlahovic could be budged if Arsenal can structure a deal that sees Partey move to Turin and Vlahovic become the Gunners' new centre-forward. Arsenal are keen to sign Sporting CP defender Ousmane Diamond, according to Portuguese newspaper O Jogo. The Ivory Coast international has established himself as one of the best defenders in Portugal's top flight in recent times, helping Sporting sit level on points at the top of the Primeira Liga table. Despite his elite defensive nous and physical attributes, Diamond is still only 19 years old, with plenty of clubs across Europe interested in prizing him away from Sporting. One of those clubs is said to be the Gunners. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano recently reported that Diamond is a name that Mikel Arteta's side have been tracking for a long time. "I'm told he's a player Arsenal have been tracking for a long time," the Italian told his Here We Go podcast. Newcastle United have also been mooted as a potential destination for the talented youngster, with Ricardo Souza, who coached Diamond during his loan spell at CD Mafra, also name-dropping Arsenal when discussing teams who admire the commanding centre-half. "He's one of those players who doesn't make mistakes," Souza told Ojogo via Leonino. Recruiting someone like Diamond, who has a £69 million release clause in the January transfer window, could make a lot of sense for Arteta and co., who struggled last season when William Saliba and Tomiyasu picked up injuries towards the end of the campaign. Corinthians midfielder Gabriel Moscardo is the latest Brazilian talent to be linked with a move to Europe's biggest clubs, including the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. The Gunners are short of options in the centre of the park, with Thomas Partey's injury woes continuing. That has resulted in them being linked with a host of midfielders ahead of the January transfer window, including Moscardo. Chelsea have also been mooted as a potential destination for the 18-year-old, having seen a €20 million proposal rebuffed over the summer transfer window. Brazilian wonderkid Moscardo has delivered a fresh update on his future, opening up on the Blues' interest even more. Speaking after a recent 1-1 draw with Atletico Mineiro, he said, "To tell you the truth, I have very little information. My father knows a few things, he prefers not to tell me so as not to influence my head too much. To end up taking a little bit of my focus here," he says, "here your focus is on Corinthians. Let's wait for the season to end, there are still a few games to go, and we'll see what we can do. Of course there's interest from various clubs, I've also heard about it. There was strong interest from Chelsea a few months ago, but if you stop to think about where I'm going now, at this moment, it's not good." The Gunners had been hoping to resurrect their attempts to sign Martin Zubimendi in January, after cooling their interest in the summer transfer window, but they could now face competition from Bayern Munich, while Arteta may also be forced to cope with a possible midfield departure. Arteta is said to be a fan of Real Sociedad's holding midfielder Zubimendi, who is a Spain international and was heavily linked with Barcelona last summer. The 24-year-old is under contract until 2027 but has a release clause of £52 million, which could allow Arsenal to negotiate a slightly lower fee if they choose to revive their interest. However, the presence of Bayern Munich in the race to sign Zubimendi could scupper their transfer plans. There is a feeling that if the club received an appropriate offer, he would be allowed to depart after 3 years at the Emirates Stadium, where he has made 104 appearances and scored 5 goals.